All right, thank you. We've returned from executive session. Do you have the correct time on that?
I do.
Thank you. I'd like to make a statement. The school district has a mask mandate when visitors are in our building. There are various rules for various levels. We asked visitors at this meeting this evening to wear masks, and we thank those who chose to do so. Those who do not were provided with a mask, yet still refused. According to our policies and mandates, visitors need to wear a mask for the safety of others and of ourselves. At this time, we ask again for all visitors in the room to wear a mask and honor our mask mandate. In addition, we have experienced increasing disruption. We apologize to our community for not being able to follow through to conduct the business of this district, including important decisions and votes that affect our personnel, our people. At this time, we will restart with the recognition of the public. We have one more name, Kathy Lowe. I don't believe she's present.
Called, I don't know. She's coming back.
All right, well then we'll move on. Board committee reports. Finance committee.
Thanks, Deanie. Finance Committee met earlier this evening. We reviewed one outstanding item from our previous meeting in August, which was to review some additional details on the Permanent Improvement Fund. We also looked in detail into changes in revenue and appropriations for fiscal year 22, and we talked about appropriations that are included on the agenda for the board's consideration tonight. We also looked at the analytic that we use as an internal control tool, and that analytic is in alignment with both our 5-year forecast and our current year appropriations. Thank you.
Thank you. Citizens Advisory Committee.
We just have, we have 5 new members from the community that we're excited to have join us for the 21-22 school year. Ross Bartles, Ernest Davis, Lynn Haid, Laura Lee Murley, and Toya Wall. And that we met this past about a week ago, and the committees were able to divide and start their work together.
All right, thank you. All right, that leads us to the Superintendent Committee Liaison Reports. No Business Advisory Committee meeting. Community engagement. Who would like to
I would say our
add
big
in anything?
things are that we're excited for homecoming on Friday, the parade and the game, and fall festival on Saturday.
I would also share that we recently distributed information on the October 20th Parent Partnership Program. And at that program, we'll have Dr. Dalton coming to speak with families about student anxiousness and worry. Just a great start for this product called this Parent Partnership Series, where we're talking about things that matter to families.
All right, thank you. All right, then Equity, Inclusion, and Anti-Racism Committee.
Yeah, I'll speak to that also. I recently distributed communication about a community conversation, and we wanted to get back to engagement within our community, which we started a couple of years ago, interrupted by a pandemic. So our community conversation topic is belonging, and how do we build a culture of belonging for all of our students, our staff, and our families. And so that is the topic. Again, it's November 18th, and we'll continue to communicate that as we get closer and closer to that event.
Thank you. The Facility Committee.
I think I'll take that one. The Facility Committee met on September 23rd to, again, to continue to review our permanent improvement plan, details our facility improvements, short term, so over the next 5 to 6 years, and then also working towards a long-range facility plan in 5-year buckets. We're going to talk about that in additional detail at the October planning meeting.
Thank you. Planning and goal setting had a meeting. We looked into state data. Tim, if you would take it from there.
Sure.
Please.
Yeah. Yeah, so we looked at a publication from the Ohio Department of Education called Data Insights. And what it did is it gave a good snapshot of the impact from the pandemic. And it spoke to enrollment, attendance, and student achievement. And so that's an ongoing conversation that we'll continue to have.
And that data is currently being identified. So it's not, we're not ready to act on that. All right, policy review has not met, but they are setting up a meeting. Student achievement, I believe you're setting up a meeting.
We're trying to meet this week, and what we want to do is we really want to dig back into the data insights information that came also with the planning and goal setting committee.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, that leads us to the Board of Education reports. We have 2 items on the report. May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. May I have a roll call?
Mrs. G,
Yes.
Mrs. Zoller,
Yes.
Mrs. Broderick,
Yes.
Mr. Buckner.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. That brings that paperwork up to date. Treasurer's report.
Thanks, Jeannie. Item A, approval of the minutes from the regular meeting on August 23rd and the planning meeting of September 14th. Item B, approval of the statement of revenues and expenditures for a month ending August 30th. Item C, accept with appreciation the list of donations. Item D, a change order from the high school HVAC project. You might remember that in the last meeting, we accepted a deduction change order for $200,000. Just a reminder, so excited about that partnership with Perfection. That project was completed on time and under budget with $200,000. When we fired up the boilers, did find this one little piece of machinery that did need to be not replaced, but repaired. So this is the final change order, even though we thought we were saying that last month.
Thank you.
Item E is fiscal year 22 appropriations. If you remember, we start the year with temporary appropriations until the county auditor approves our amended certificate. That's all part of this school budget process that's laid out in the Ohio Revised Code. So we've been running on temporaries until September is the time to approve final. They're required by law to be adopted by October 1st. Item F is approval of the 21-22 transportation routes. Again, a requirement of the Ohio Revised Code that the board approves our transportation routes. Item G, approval of the report, please.
All right, thank you. May I have a motion to do so?
So moved.
Thank you. I'll second. May I have a roll call?
Mrs. G,
Yes.
Mrs. Zoller,
Yes.
Mrs. Broderick,
Yes.
Mr. Buckner.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, back over to the superintendent for a personnel report.
Okay, thank you. So several items, and between Dr. Whiteley and I will cover these. Number 1 is recommendation to approve resignation for the purpose of retirement, and this is for Dr. Mike Dorsey. So super excited for him, and I just want to thank him for his great work in the district.
Okay.
Number 2, recommendation to approve new personnel, and this is again the child nutrition and recess aid that we've talked about, and so we're excited to add this on. Again, a great opportunity for our students and our staff. Number 3 is a recommendation to approve unpaid leave for the staff members that you see on the agenda there. And then for items 4, 5, and 6, I'll ask Dr. Whiteley to speak to those items.
Number 4, you'll see that this individual is helping us with supporting our intervention specialist, actually a few intervention specialists she is helping with just some transitioning and some student support. Number 5, you'll notice that amount is for an extra bell, but that amount is a little bit different from what you normally see because that's 1 bell a week, not 5 days a week for the semester. And then number 6, we're having some help with IEP writing across cases. So those are outside of their normal cases for those 2 individuals, which is why they're receiving that compensation.
So then I'll continue on. Number 7 is to approve a kindergarten assessment and training for those 2 staff members. Number 8 is to approve home instruction for these 2 individuals to provide support to students through home instruction. Number 9 is a recommendation to approve the rescinding of a non-athletic supplemental contract. And if needed through student interest, we would move forward with that again. Number 10 is a recommendation to change this non-athletic supplemental contract. And this would be a pay from 3% to 1.5%. Continuing on, number 11 is a recommendation to approve these non-athletic supplemental contracts that you can see on the agenda, and great opportunities for students. Excited to have those in place and appreciate the staff members putting forth the time and energy and effort to make sure those opportunities are there for kids. Number 12 is a recommendation to rescind the athletic supplemental contract that you see for that role. And number 13, recommendation to approve the changes to the athletic supplemental contracts. You can see there's a change in pay rate for each one of those. And number 14, recommendation to approve athletic supplemental contracts. You can see the positions that those are being set up again, thanks to those individuals. And number 15, a recommendation to approve these fall workers for helping to make all these events happen. Appreciate those individuals. And then switching gears a little bit, item B, this is a recommendation to approve the Children's Theater of Cincinnati contract with Wyoming Middle School. And what this does is it allows the Children's Theater to provide the services for the middle school for the fall musical, the winter variety show, and the spring play. So we appreciate their connection with the school district.
And it's wonderful to have that program there.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm
It's
glad.
great. Again, opportunities for students. Item C is the recommendation to approve the contract for services with the city of Wyoming, and that is for the maintenance of our vehicles. And it's a two-year contract, I believe. And what that does then is we work with them to work with all of our vehicles. Another example of the partnership between the school district and the city. So we appreciate their connection. And that is all I have. If you have questions.
I don't think so. May I have a motion to approve that? Superintendent's report
So moved.
and a second? Second. Thank you. May I have a roll call?
Mrs. Aller,
Yes.
Mrs. Broderick,
Yes.
Mr. Buckner,
Yes.
Mrs. G.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Superintendent's update.
Okay, Heather spoke to this, so I'll just share my own excitement for homecoming and to be the week of homecoming. Very exciting. It's great to be in a position where we can do these things. It's a big week for Wyoming. So floats, parades, Spirit Week, everything's back, and we're happy to see that. The float theme, childhood video games, takes me back to some games that we've enjoyed in our family. And so float building began today. I didn't see any floats, so I don't know if anyone was able to check out how far they've gotten on the work, but excited to see that happen throughout the week. It's quite an experience. Someone reminded me that sophomores, this is all brand new to them. They didn't have the chance to participate in this last year. So it's new to a lot of folks. Dance is Saturday for students, and the parade is on. I'll turn to Susie. Do you want to speak just a little bit about the parade route?
Absolutely. We are headed back to the traditional parade route, so we'll be going down the pike. So lineup will be on Worthington, headed west down the pike to Chestnut, make the right there at Tila, and then come around Burns and then back towards the school. So the parade is open to Wyoming High School students, Wyoming City Schools support organizations, and area youth programs. And there's more information about the parade on the website.
Cub Scouts will be there.
Excellent.
Oh, wonderful. Good. Yep. Okay, and that's one thing.
And I actually
Good
have
news.
seen one of the boats. And it's just a base right now. There's not much to it, isn't
All
there?
right,
But they have a week.
wonderful, good.
All right, thank you very much. Is there anything else that we need to add? Because then I guess we go back into executive session to consider the employment of public employees and more work for us to do tonight. All right, so
We need a motion.
motion to go into, sorry. I need a motion to go into executive session, please.
So-
Thank you. I'll second that. Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Broderick,
Yes.
Mr. Buckner,
Yes.
Mrs. G.
Yes.
Mrs. Aller.
Yes, all right,
Thank
thank you. We're done.